All right. Black Box Radio, guys. I am excited. Let me say it three times. Excited, super excited because I'm traveling the world. I am in my digital passport and we are exported to Malaysia. And we still African. This is what I'm talking about. We are still African and we're traveling the world. This is the International Sunday segment for Black Box Radio. We have said that, listen, Black folks have to connect. We have to talk about our experiences all over the world because usually we experience the same things because we're culturally connected. So, but places present different things. So we want to hear from our guests, like what are they doing in places that they visit. So we have a young lady over there. I'm not going to introduce her yet, but she is in Malaysia, guys. That is in South Asia. Can you believe that? Malaysia. But anyway, I'm Queen. I'm the host of Black Box Radio. We are a multimedia platform illustrating Black excellence. We platform Black people, we expose Black genius, and we definitely disseminate information to our communities and all communities. We want to humanize the Black experience. So, Black Box Radio is a platform that exposes the ordinary people who are being extraordinary in their spaces and whatever they're doing. So, tonight, I created this International Sundays segment. And the reason I created was really my own curiosity. But more than anything, I know that we need to connect as in the diaspora as Africans. And we also need to hear the experience of African Americans or Africans all over the world. So we're going to Malaysia. We're here. Let's welcome Davita McKelvey. Say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
No, you're not. No, you.
I won't
I'm going to. I'm going to expose you. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it. Say hi to the people. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Good morning. Actually, I'll say that. Good morning.
And that's the first thing I want to say. What time is it in where you
7:30.
are? First, tell us where you are, and then tell us what time it is.
Okay, I'm in Kuala Lumpur, in a neighborhood called Shiraz, and it is 7:36 a.m. I'm exactly 12 hours ahead of New York City, or EST.
Wow.
12 hours ahead of
Yeah,
EST.
EST. So that's Baltimore. So you
Mhm.
are wow. So it's 7:36 in the morning. So it's 7:36 p.m. here. Wow, amazing. We're on the other side of the world. This is just technology is so amazing, Davina.
Right,
It's just
right.
so amazing that we could do this and connect in real time. It's just an amazing experience. So
You're
I
about
want to
to go to
first
bed.
kind of, huh?
I'm waking. You're going to bed, and I'm waking up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So listen, kind of first, I want to hear who is Davita McKelvey. Let's hear that first.
Ooh, I am a mother. I am an old mother. I'm a 46-year-old woman. I am a creative. I am a business owner. I am a traveler, and all the things. I'm a daughter. All of those great things. But essentially, I'm from Colorado. Born and raised in Oakland, though Oakland, California. I got to give it up to my people,
Old
and
town.
yeah, and then we moved to Colorado. So I grew up in Colorado, and have lived many different places since then, notably New York, Mexico, uh, now here. And I travel now with my 5-year-old daughter. And well, you're doing slow traveling. So like every 2 years we switch and go somewhere else, or every 2 to 3 years really, and we'll switch and go somewhere else. So this is her second, landing, and that's it. That's the gist of who I am. I think
Oh my gosh.
we met because I'm working on some of your projects, and that is what I
Tell
do.
the
Is just
people. Tell the
tell people.
people.
I don't know because you don't want to tell the people all the time. Making sure you do.
Look how she called me out. She's a shade queen, y'all. Tell you right now. This is the shade queen all the way from Southeast Asia. So she's coming from me. But the reason we met was through my very dear friend Shanita. But on
Uh,
top, she is doing a project with me. She's developing our website for the Squeegee Project.
right.
And I talk about it once in a while, but I'm definitely going to talk about it more We now have a digital landing. We are a technology initiative, so we should have a digital landing. And I'm going to share more with you guys. But this is a project for youth in Baltimore, Black youth, and we want to expose and squeeze them into technology. So she is putting a website together for me, guys, that is so lit, so fly. I just can't wait for y'all to see it. It's really nice. And we've been
Thank
through a lot together, so
you.
we're
Right.
connected.
Right.
She's
Like,
sick
don't
of
let
me,
the
in
people
other
think
words.
that I came here voluntarily. She didn't know. It was not that option. She said, I will see you on such a date. And I said, okay. So here I am. But I love working with small businesses like you. And I specifically like this is the kind of stuff that feeds me, is that I get to work with small businesses who are startups, who have they just don't have either the skill set to do what they need to do or the money or whatever. And I get to take, the things that I know and just create something amazing. And so this is what I do. And I really have loved working for the Swedish Brother, both websites. I've loved it. And I love you. I love the fact that you call me and ask me about your business. And I'll be like, I ain't never did nothing like that, but I'll figure it out.
I sure do.
Let's go. Let's figure it out.
And I want
So,
you to we're gonna put your information in the chat so more folks can,
oh,
you guys. She is
okay.
she's good at what she does. I take advice from her, so she's really in, to the point where I had to have her on because she is just everything. So she's really putting me together because trust me, that's a job, baby. That is an absolute.
Look,
Don't
you're well, okay. No, I'm gonna let you talk.
do not.
I'm gonna let you talk.
The first rule is you cannot agree to everything.
I'm like, no,
That's the first rule. That is the first rule. But definitely, she is putting me together. I am a challenge because I have a lot going on, guys. I'm doing, of course, Black Box Radio. I'm doing the Squeegee Project. I'm a caretaker. I'm traveling. So I'm a very busy lady, but I'm very blessed. And the community is the oxygen that I breathe. So we want to do something with young people, but we also do something with the community as a whole. And that's what this is. This is a community conversation. And I
Yes,
mean, I am just, first off, I want to know about this traveling thing. So your baby has been to two places that I haven't even been. This is what's
right.
killing me. So where was
Yeah,
she born?
she was born in Colorado.
In Colorado. So she was born in
Yeah,
the US.
3 months early.
Oh,
Right,
preemie. So
preemie.
it was,
We're in the NICU for a long time.
yeah,
Um,
that's very young. 3 months.
yes,
It's very
and so
young. Yes.
my plan when I was pregnant was like, oh, after the birth, we're going to leave. And then we were in the NICU for a long time. And then after that, she was on oxygen, all of the things. So we waited until
Mm-hmm.
she turned 1, and then we were out. We took a trip to Merida. And at that time, they had a
To
big
where? Say that
Merida,
again.
Merida, Mexico.
Oh,
It's
Mexico. Yeah, okay.
In the Yucatan. At that time, they had a big single mothers community that was building there, and it was just
Mm.
all Black single moms. And I was like, let's go see. And we went there and loved it, and we stayed there 3 years. Made a lot of friends, and then when it was time to go, we came back to the U.S. for a year because she needed to do some speech therapy. She does have a speech delay.
Okay.
And then so we stayed in the US for a year, and then we moved to Malaysia after that. So now we're here just trying to figure it out. And so, it's all the things. It's school, it's this, still therapy, all of these things. And so it's touch and go. But when you
Mm.
work it out, you just work it out.
You do.
So
You just work, just the same thing we do here. Life just lives, and you find a
yeah.
way to adjust to it. Wow. So oh my gosh. So this child has been to Mexico. I haven't been.
Yeah.
She's in Malaysia. This is amazing.
Bermuda.
So
She's
with
in
her having a speech delay, do the
Yeah.
different tongues and the different nuances of language help her per se? Do you,
Well, because she's a child, like she's a little baby still.
she's so young. She's 5. Yeah.
They learn language the same. They're like sponges. They learn anything. So I always tell them, like, the first time we got into a Uber here, they don't have Uber, they have Grabs. But the first time we got into a Grab, she got
What's it
into the
called?
car, a Grab.
A grab. Mm.
Mhm. They used to be Uber, but they bought the company and now it's called Grab. She got in the car and she just looked at the Uber driver and she was like, "Hello." What did she say? "Hello, hola, salam." And I was just like, she's like, "I don't know what we're speaking, but here you go. I'm gonna say it all."
Yes.
So I was
I
just really,
love it.
I do too. I was like almost teared up, literally, and the cab driver started laughing. But I was like, "Bro, you don't know. Like, one, the
That's
speech delay.
amazing.
like she's pulling in all these different instances, and I love that for our kids, period, in general, which is
In
one of the
general.
reasons why I kept traveling with her, because it's, you know, the things that she'll learn here out and abroad, you know, out and about, are so much
Yep.
more intense because she's in it. Um, and you know, even when she's at the pool, you know, the kids are speaking maybe Mandarin, and she's picking up.
Mandarin. Wow.
And so then when
Wow.
she goes to school, they teach her, she'll learn Malay and she'll learn English and she'll learn Mandarin all at the same time. And so we'll see. I'm saving for therapy, but we'll see. I'm saving for, maybe this ain't gonna work when she's 25, but we will see. In the
But you know
interim,
what? This is something that is almost like a work plan, because you did not know that you would have a child that
yep,
has a speech delay, and then you go to these different countries. She's experiencing all of these different nuances of language. It is
right,
going to be the best thing for her. I would love to talk to her in 10 years to see, what she picks up, the things that she
right,
can speak in the languages that she can either understand or even speak, because
right,
that is one of the biggest things of our language. We have language barriers in the US. We speak one language, and
right,
we don't try to learn another language. Everybody else needs
right,
to come speak English. And
right,
that's not good in a way. It keeps you in a box. And so
right.
I am like impressed with her. Wow. So how many languages do you know? How about that?
I actually speak English and I speak conversational Spanish because of how long we
Yeah.
were there. So that's it.
Ooh,
Little
that's it.
bits of,
Okay.
yeah, things that, you know, you pick up little things here and there. I always try to learn to
Sure.
please use the how do I get home? Where's the cab? Kind of stuff
Yeah.
for every
That type of
country.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's it. Just
Okay.
Spanish and English. Yeah.
Spanish and English. Okay. And so, how did we get on this traveling thing? How did we
Okay.
say, okay, I'm going to travel, I'm just going to go somewhere? How did we get
Yeah.
here?
Okay. So I worked in corporate fashion before doing any of this, like going into an office. I worked in international sourcing. So I was always working with other companies, other companies abroad, China
Yep.
production, those type of things. But I've always wanted to travel. There was just like, I just always wanted to travel. So I was married for 15 years. And around the age
15 years. Wow.
years. But when I turned 30, like, you know, things start like, what am I doing? Like, you know, I loved my life. We were comfortable, but it was just like, you only get one. Is this what I really wanted to do with it? Was going to an
Yeah.
office. I was playing angry music, all that kind of stuff, driving into work. So, about at 31, I
So,
just
where are
decided
you then? Where are you? Are you in New York, or where are you?
I'm in
N-
New York.
New York.
Um,
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I think I want to go abroad for a while. I think I want to travel for a while. I was trying to convince my husband at the time, but you know, he was into his career heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he moved to New York because he worked for the Weather Channel. He was a storm chaser, so he
Oh,
was always
wow.
out doing his thing, and it was just like me and the dog at home, right? So I was like, I want to do something else. So I was like, but I
Wait,
need a plan.
hands up, hands up, hands up. Did you say
Yes,
storm chaser? So the person who's out in the middle of the hurricane,
with the camera.
who's tell
Yeah,
with the camera speaking to people while the hurricane is
he's not
fluffing.
speaking; he's
Wow.
recording. Yeah, yeah. He was.
Wow,
Has been.
that was your
Yeah,
husband. Wow.
that was my husband. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
um around 30, I was like, I need to start making a plan. And I did. And I was like, you know, I want to go. I want to go for a while. Obviously, I can't go forever because I, you know, got a person at home. And I was like, but I need a backup. If I come back, I need to be better than when I left. So I was like, I'm gonna go to school. And I went and got my master's degree. The company paid for it, but then I owed them a year, right, for paying for my degree. So
Mm.
and on my 33rd birthday, I left to travel for 11 months to do 33 countries, right? And I wrote about it. 33 at 33 is what I called it.
Wait a
And I
minute, wait a
did.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. So, hands
Um,
up. I gotta do hands up with you. You speak in paragraphs. Wait a minute. So you at 33, because I have to
33.
read because this is amazing. At 33. So you were married for 15 years at 30 in your 30s by 30?
No, no, no. I was married. I got divorced in like 40, but I was married.
Oh, don't
Had
scare me. I'm like, you was married at 12. Okay. Got it. Like they
no,
do that in Colorado. I'm trying to see about that. Okay. So so you said I'm going to leave at 33 because you did your masters, all that. And so
yep,
you travel and you want to leave for 11. You had a baby by then. Did you have your
no,
baby by? No, did not have a baby. So just you and your husband, right?
just me. Yeah, it
Just
was just us, but I just went. And I
you just
remember
went. So
I
you
made a
left
plan.
your husband for 11 months.
I left my husband for 11 months and traveled through 33 countries. And before that, I had made a spreadsheet of all the places. Like I was very, 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 I was very serious about this. Like made a spreadsheet, all the countries I wanted to hit, what I wanted to see, where I was going to stay, how much it was going to cost. Like I had an entire spreadsheet of all this information that I'd been planning for 2 years. And in that 2 years, I was stocking away money, just putting it away, putting it away, putting it away, putting it away. And so when it was time, are you raising your hand? When it was
My
time to go,
my
I,
hands is coming up.
when it
Oh
was
my
time
God.
to go, I was ready. And I went. And the funny thing is, the day before I left, um, Osama bin Laden had just been killed. And I was
Oh, I
scared.
remember that. That's when Obama bopped up to the mic. I remember that.
Scared.
Oh my goodness.
I was scared because I was like, oh man, what am I getting
Where were you
into?
going first? Why were you
I was
scared?
doing I was doing 4 hops across the US first. And then I went to Asia was next.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 33 countries. Give me some of these countries that you hit. The first 33. People do
The
the
first
first
43,
48.
that's all of
You do the
them.
first 33.
I went, well, okay, so you'll to make it
Some of
more
them.
expensive, you have to travel one way, right? That's the way people do around the world trips, make it cheaper. You travel one way. So after I went from New York back to Colorado, back to California, from California, where did I go? I should have pulled up the website because this has been years now at this point. Um,
It doesn't have to be insane.
I went back
Just
to
some of
South.
the
Yeah, I went to through Southeast Asia. I went through Japan. My brother was living there that at a time. I went bungee jumping there. Oh, I did Hawaii too before that. I went to Japan. I went to Taiwan. I went to um, China. I did a trip in China that took me. I took the train from one part all the way down to the next country. I was doing a lot of stuff like that. Bungee
China got the
jumping.
flyest. They got that mag leave. They got the flyest trains, baby.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
local
they
ones. So
oh the local ones. Oh, I thought I was talking about those nice trains they have.
yeah,
That's on the magnets.
no, no.
No.
It was like in a cart with like 6 men. And every time they saw me, they'd be like, foreigner, foreigner. It was like a big joke. I knew no Chinese. Like I was just out there. I remember I was in the train station once, and this guy was asking me questions. He was like, "How did you get here? Like, what are you doing?" And I was just talking to him. He was like, "Oh," he was like, "My sister would love to do something like that, but we love our daughter." And I was like, "Wait a minute."
What?
He was like, I don't think he realized what he was saying, but he was like, "But we love her. We wouldn't let her do that." And I was like, "What I'm loved?"
I
Which
mean,
is
because I'm
great.
amazed. Like there was no apprehension where you're not
No,
scared
there
to
was,
just say, "Listen, I'm going to get on these planes and I'm
yeah,
going to see the world." You weren't scared
like,
by
I was
yourself.
blessed. I was straight, and a lot of things happened. I caught. I had to take a bus through somewhere in Eastern Europe, and it was just a nasty bus. Like I didn't expect this, but okay. So they gave me a ticket and they gave me a pillow, and the pillow wasn't unzippable. Nothing. It was like a decorator pillow, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? And it was beds. The bus was full of beds, 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 beds. This was in Southeast Asia. It wasn't. I know exactly where it was in Laos, and I was like, okay, I guess we're sleeping on beds. But I was sharing a
Where's
bed.
Laos?
Was
Where's
sharing a
Laos?
bed. Laos is in Southeast Asia.
Southeast
Um,
Asia. Is that I mean, part of what country?
it
Laos.
is Laos. Laos is the country.
It is a country? Look at me.
Yes.
My geography is horrible. Okay.
um,
Okay, Laos. I've never heard of that. Wow. Okay, so you was in Laos and they gave you a pillow and you was sharing a bed with a stranger?
twin bed with a stranger. Everybody was, and she was
Did you
six
say
and
twin?
a twin bed. We were like head to foot, like you would with your cousins or something, or your brother or sister with a stranger the whole trip. And it was just like you know how like all the wiring was like pulled out, it was bugs. Like I took pictures because I just couldn't believe like this is my life. I signed up for this. And I was just trying to lay on this decorator pillow that had probably never been washed because it didn't unzip, right? And I'm just like, but anyway, by the time I got to Laos, I had a rash all the way from my ear all the way down and had to go to the doctor and all, things like that happened frequently. But
Oh
it
my
pulls you out.
gosh.
comfort zone, and it pulls you out of your comfort zone and just makes the rest of the trip more, you know. Oh, you can
What?
eat. It's easy. Yeah.
Rewarding?
Yep. But people came to visit me.
Wow.
My husband at the time came to visit me when I was in Romania. My mother came to visit me. She did all of Vietnam with me from top to bottom. Um, and when she came, my mom is bougie. She's not going to play the same games that I was playing. So I had to like cancel all the train tickets. We took first class flights, like all of those things. But she still managed to get robbed. Um,
She
things
got
like
what?
that. She got robbed. She got robbed, pickpocketed,
Where?
right in the middle of the city,
In
and
Vietnam?
in Vietnam. And I told you we from
That's why it
Oakland.
says made in Vietnam. Y'all stealing shit.
Listen, I told you she's from Oakland. She chased him down and got her money back. So
What?
I was like this, like my mom. I was like, okay,
Your
what's
mother
that?
chased somebody down. Listen, this
And
is,
down,
I didn't
got her
sign up for this story. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. So your husband visited you, your mother, so your mom, she visit. I talked to you recently, your mom was visiting. So your mom always visits, I
my mom
hear.
goes visits, my aunts visit. Like wherever I go, I have family coming in. It does not matter where
That's
I go.
that's that's
Yeah, that's
really
an
beautiful.
opportunity. Yeah, they see it as an opportunity to like, oh, I know someone there. Let's go. Because how often are they going to
That's
come to Malaysia? How often are they going to,
That's
come to
true. That and to someone who actually knows the place, they feel safe with.
Exactly.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So let me ask a question. How do you navigate healthcare? Because you had the rash. How do you
Yeah.
navigate getting healthcare and doctors, and if something's wrong? Women, we have issues. We have periods. We have. How do
All
you
of those.
navigate these movements on the run? Because you're on the run. I don't think you're busy. I think you're on the run now. But we'll talk about that off camera. Go ahead.
That you sound like my mom. Okay, anyway, okay, so travel insurance is the big one, right? When you
Oh,
back
okay.
insurance, I use that for like the big stuff, surgeries,
Okay.
having to get go back home, those type of
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, like going to the doctor. Okay, let me give you an example. My daughter, nope, I broke my pinky finger in Mexico. They
Oh,
sent out the radiologist or the guy who took the X-ray. They sent him.
radiologist.
Yep, they sent him to my
Okay.
house with the machine, and then he wrapped me up, got me all settled. Then he came back and checked in a week or so. I think I paid $25 for that.
What? That's it?
$25 for a broken finger, and he brought the whole machine to my house. And I think like those type of things, when you go abroad, healthcare is just, I mean,
Cheaper.
it's one of the reasons why there's a book called Twice the Life, Half the Price. It's one of those things that is just like it makes it worth it. Like the only thing here that I think that is super expensive is school. It's very expensive here. You're going to spend almost like $10,000 a year on a good international school. But besides that, healthcare is inexpensive here. Food is extremely inexpensive here. I try to figure out what my limits are on my electricity. So I'll leave it when I first move in. I'll leave it on until the first couple of bills comes on. Like just let the AC run. Like we want to see how comfortable I can be. I
Yeah.
have never gone over $75, and I'm
What?
talking. It's 90 degrees right now in the morning, and yeah, never. My water bill has never been over $8. My like this is consistent. Mexico was the same way. Here in Malaysia is the
You say
same
they
way.
hustling us in the USS? Are they hustling us?
Oh, absolutely. In every
We
which
can
way.
hustle.
In every which way.
Wow. In
Healthcare to
every which way.
yeah. I had a brand new 3-bedroom home in Mexico in like a regular suburban neighborhood. When I say brand new, like they were finishing it up a week before I moved in. They had to come get all the stuff out. And I paid $450 a month. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2 floors, like a backyard, the whole nine. Or three,
I'm in
400.
South Carolina. A studio's 1,800.
I moved from New York. Like, stop it. Like,
Oh,
see, you're like,
we're not even talking about New
Colorado was
York.
about the same too. Like, everyone's like, why don't you come back? And I'm like, well,
Mm-mm,
I would have
mm-mm,
to get another job just to pay for daycare, that kind of stuff.
mm-hmm,
Like that.
mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
This is a city. If we did not do International Sundays, we would know this stuff. So that's why this is so amazing. Wow, man, never your water bills never. People are losing their houses for water bills.
Oh, yeah.
That was happening in Baltimore for a long time, that they could take your house with your water because the water bills were astronomical. You talk about $8 a month. Oh
eight
my
dollars
goodness.
dollars a month.
And these people, they eat soup, rice. They're using water, baby. They are water folks.
Not even
Wow.
that.
Okay.
So expensive that it's here. It's cheaper to eat out. So they've made a culture of just eating out. I don't even have an oven, like, and they don't in my apartment. Like they didn't build it out with an oven because people don't cook like that. They'll go out every breakfast, lunch, dinner because it's inexpensive. I might spend $3. I might
And it's
spend
good for you.
and it's fresh, it's good for you. It's not, they're not selling, they don't sell fruit that is out of season. Like if it's out of season, you're out of luck. You know what I mean? You'd have to go to an American grocery store to find that, or import store.
So they
Yeah,
what kind of stores are American? Is it like American store or you said an import store? What would that be?
the import grocery store, like a higher end, their Whole Foods is kind of like, they don't have Whole Foods, but they have something like it, like Ben's, for example. It would carry all the brands that we would have in America or anywhere
Got
else.
it.
But here in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur is a major city, and I don't think people, until people have been here, they wouldn't recognize it. I would think it looks like 3 or 4 New York and San Francisco smushed together. So anything you want, from Taco Bell to Garrett's popcorn. Is that the popcorn that's in Chicago? Garrett's popcorn, Taco
Yes.
Bell, all of that stuff is here. Like it's
Is
just
there? Wow.
English is what they all speak, like English, Mandarin, and Arabic. Everybody learns 3 languages in school. So it's very easy to travel here because of that. And then, you know, and it's a huge expat community. So if I want to go to have Thai food, so here it's good. If I want to go have, the only thing I haven't found is soul food, but I've had some of the
That might
best.
be something you got to bring there, baby.
No, I can't cook like that.
You don't cook.
No.
I hear you don't cook. So a meal. Okay, say I don't eat meat.
Okay.
And so, okay, so if I were to go out and I wanted something vegan, fresh vegetables, I'd eat a lot and fresh fruit. What would
Mhm.
I pay for dinner?
You're still gonna pay. It depends. So there's levels to it. So when we go, if I go over next door into like the market that's
Hmm.
open for lunch, dinner, I might pay $3 for a meal, right? But if my girlfriend, who she likes the fine life, we might go to a nice restaurant. We might pay $30.
Okay, and so it's levels to it. Okay,
Yeah, we have a Michelin starred restaurant here. I took my whole family when they came to visit, and
that's
that
what's
was
up.
$45 each, and we ate. I mean,
How
it was
much?
ridiculous. $45 each.
A Michelin star. That's the
Yeah,
best. That's the top of the line, baby.
yeah.
Wow.
And
45. That's it.
the chef is a black man from Virginia.
Shut, shut your mouth.
Not lying.
Michelin star in this country, you probably pay like 200-300 a plate.
Yep,
Easy.
easy. Yeah,
500 some places. New
yeah.
York, $500 a plate. So you tell me the man who is a Michelin star chef in Malaysia is a black man from VA, the
Uh-huh.
DMV. I tell you, we
We're
are
here.
everywhere. I
Everywhere.
love Africans.
We are everywhere, and
We
I
are
love it.
everywhere. I love it. So let's kind of move. That segues into my questions because we're Black Box Radio. We're black centered. We
Okay,
black, we talk black, we be black.
okay.
So what I want to know as a black woman, we gotta have our little sister circle right quick. As a black woman, how are you received in say like a Southeast Asia and in these countries? I mean, do you see yourself? Are you able to connect? How does that kind of come
Um,
together?
because okay, so where I am, okay, so Malaysia has 3 different ethnicities, right? They have Malaysian Indian, Malaysian Chinese, and then Malaysian, like, the original Malaysians, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
because the Indians bring in like Brickfields, so example, is like little India over there. That is like, they're all dark. The South Indian, they all,
Curry,
yeah,
curry, and they doing that thing. Okay. They
yep,
dark. Okay.
very dark skinned people. And then yes, you have like they have every skin color here. So if you need like
Mm.
makeup, things like that, you can find it. It wasn't the same in Mexico, clearly, obviously, but it's here. It's just such a melting pot that you don't really mind it.
So
I
you're
mean,
not
you
an
have
anomaly. You're not something different. You're not an anomaly. They
this is
see
the
brown skin. How about your
yeah,
hair? Because
the hair. This is the anomaly. That's the one thing that they're always just like, is it real? How did you do it? They have a lot of
it is
questions.
our hair is always a conversation starter. I
Yeah,
love that, and your hair is
braids.
beautiful.
They're
So,
still like in braids. I'll be moving and someone will be holding. I'll be like, what the hell? They want to feel it. They want to
they want
touch
to
it.
touch it. Yeah,
Yeah, is
yeah.
this how to do this? Can I get it done? That kind of stuff. But yeah,
Wow. I tell you, our Africanness, we are one of a kind when it comes to that hair. Certain things nobody can duplicate. Okay, so
yeah,
your daughter
yes.
has a 5 year. She's going to pre-K or what? No, what is she going to any type of? She's going to school, right? So
Well,
how
we
does
start.
that play out? Is she the brown child, a brown child from America? Is that nothing like that?
Well, she is. I think her Americanness plays first before everything else, if that makes sense. So again, everyone speaks English, so it's not a big
Sure.
deal. You have all the skin tones are there, but she is the American at the school we were going to. We have to find a new one. But she, yeah,
Or the
her,
African American too. I mean,
yes, yeah, yeah. Right.
ah,
I was like, they have to get used to the way we speak. They speak English, but we speak different English.
yeah.
It's not the
It's a
British
different
English.
dialect.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
the British colonized here first, and so things like that. I think I'm more interested. I'm going to be more interested to see how it works in terms because This is a Muslim country. It doesn't matter how you. Every religion is here, but every religion is here. Every building, every church, every what have you. Sorry, I'm looking out the window as I talk to you, kind of.
No problem.
But we still hear the call to prayer. Every day
Okay, every day.
at,
Yes.
at this certain time. So it's certain things that I'm interested to see what she picks up, like in terms because they do still teach things like, wow, we're having a class on morals, we're having a class on this and this and this, and I'm it's gonna be interesting to see
Excellent.
how it plays out. Yeah. And
Well, she's
school
going to pick up a lot of stuff. I love
yeah,
that about her.
like, yeah, exactly. So the little girl in the hijab, I'm
Yes,
wondering,
yes.
she start thinking of that, or like, how does she consider modesty? These kind of things always interest me because we're not going to stay here forever. So what piece of it are you going to pick up before we move to the next place?
Wow.
So
Do you have to cover as a woman who's not Muslim? Is it required? So you
no,
don't. So you can do. It's very liberal. In other words, so it's
it
not.
is, yeah, because like I said, the Chinese are Buddhist, the Indians are Hindu, and then they
Mhm.
intermarry. And so even they have rules and laws, about that, like who has to change, and it's complicated to me because I'm not a part of their society, but they've grown up with it, and so for them it's like a walk in the park. But I love like
It's
we can go to an Indian restaurant and it'll be all Chinese people, and they're like, they're accustomed to. That's the one part about Malaysia that I've always loved. When I first came here, I was here 3 times before we actually decided to come.
oh
And the first
wow.
time I came, I remember I got out of the airport, was in the Grab, and this dude walked across the street like Denzel fine, like swag, all of it. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm in Asia. And I kept asking her, is he Malaysian? He said, yes, baby, we all Malaysian. Like this is the only country that I've been in where you have so many different people with so many different ethnicities, languages, religions, and they all just intermix like it's nothing. And I love that aspect about it. I wish every country could be like this. We wouldn't probably
Oh,
have.
this is amazing because we always talk about in the U.S. how we're this biggest melting pot, and but this is not a welcoming melting pot. This is a melting pot with a bunch of lumps in it. Let's be
Yes,
clear.
silos. Yeah,
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 silo lump. And so, to hear what you're saying is, and because we haven't exposed ourselves, a lot
right,
of us are not vying to go to Southeast Asia, especially Africans.
right.
That's the truth. And so we don't see these type of countries or cultures or things that's happening because one thing we need to know that Muslims, the Asians are the biggest Muslims in the world.
Hmm.
People don't know that. And the Muslim religion is a lot of Asians are Muslims.
Yeah,
We think are Arabs, but that's not true, and it's because we don't know. And so, for you to say this is a Muslim country and that it is a melting pot that actually seamlessly, actually have no issues going into each other's cultures, each other's places, food. That's beautiful.
yeah.
That must
Every
be
I'm
that must be
sure.
really fly.
Honestly, and I'm speaking from an aspect of someone from as an outsider. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I'm sure
Yeah.
something is happening, but it's not visible. It's not, you ask them about it and they'll easily tell you, this and that. And this is, I'm Hindu, but my wife is Muslim and I married her. And so I had to not be Hindu anymore. Things like that. They'll talk about it. But again, I'm
Very
talking from
interesting.
the perspective of an outsider. So I'm sure insider, I'm not sure what's happening. But I've loved that aspect of this country since the first time, since the 33. This is the funny thing. Since the 33, I was supposed to stay. There's a little place called Malacca. It's about 2 hours from where I am. And the first time I visited there, I was supposed to just be there for a weekend. Like I'm making my way down to Indonesia, and I ended up just in and just totally messing up my schedule because I loved it so much that I call it the Paris of Malaysia because everything, there's lots of water and you get on boats, etc. But yeah, I've loved this place for a long time, and I'm just happy to finally be back here. But that's yeah.
How long have you been there?
We go in and out. So their visa process is long. It takes a while. So we've had to do a visa run and then but a visa run, we just fly to Sing. Okay, so here's the next part. That's beautiful. Southeast Asia it's big, but it's so small and there's so many countries in one place that you can travel for really inexpensive. So our trip to Singapore for just a weekend, the flight was $30 round trip. And
they have $30 flights in the world, sis.
Yeah. Listen,
did you have to do it a year before to get the $30? Please say you had to do it a year before.
No
Don't
special.
tell me you could just call a week before and get a $30 ticket.
The day of, I could go and get a ticket. So the things like that. That's why we're
like a plane Uber. Are you kidding me? You got Uber in the planes.
I'm not. And that's why I'm looking forward to. Once our visa comes in, like, okay, if she has
What's
a week
next?
and a holiday, we can head to Thailand for under $100. We can head to Vietnam. There's so many places in Vietnam I want to show her. We can head to Cambodia. We can head. I have friends who are living in India.
And go to India, Pakistan. You could just keep it moving.
Australia, flights to Australia are $300 round trip. Flights to Myanmar. Like I love Myanmar. I want to take her so bad. Yes, I love it. They have to always have problems though, but I love Myanmar. I want to take her to Indonesia to go to Borobudur and Prambanan. Like all of these places that I remember seeing when I first went on 33. I want to take my daughter to see it. Do I think she's going to remember it? Probably not. I don't know. But I want her to see it. I want to experience it with her now while we're in this region. And then, when the time's up and we may move to, I don't know, I'm thinking Africa next. Don't hold me to that. But I'm thinking Ghana next. And then we'll do something, the same kind of thing there. It's just travel the region.
Wow. I think you are just raising a very curious creative. This child is and her palette is going to be so rich and textured. I am just so excited. I don't know the child, but I feel love for her because she's going to have because, I want all children to have more than what I had.
Yes.
And to see that this child is going to have such a textured palette with so many different things she's going to experience. She's just 5. So she has a whole life ahead of her. And then the languages that she's going to be exposed to, the cultures, the people, the colors, even the different textures of land, sand, beaches. I'm just like, this child is going to be amazing. She is going to be amazing.
I think this is the thing that is difficult for some people to see. It's hard to explain this to people at times, especially, family or close people who don't see the big picture, but people can't see what they don't know. I couldn't have done this with her had I not done it myself, right? My mother couldn't teach me how to do this because she had never done anything like this, right?
Yes.
So it's about okay, you put me on your shoulders, now I can go. Now I can put her on my shoulders and she can go. If she decides to move back to the States and she wants to go to a HBCU for college or what have you, I'm okay with all of that. I've given you everything that everything that I can put into you. Now you can take it and decide what you want to do. And then you can
Morgan
decide
State University. HBCU. Let me put my alma. Let's stop for a minute. Let me put my alma mater in there. Morgan State University, the best HBCU in the States. All right, you can continue.
But it's difficult when people haven't seen it or they don't have a glimpse of the lifestyle. It's kind of difficult to explain it to them, and so they can think that you're flighty or I always get what are you running from? I'm like,
I
I'm
told you
running
you on the run, baby.
towards a life that feels comfortable for me, a life that I
Mm.
love. Like I want to explore and I still want to learn. And I'm not, I'm old, but I ain't dead yet. Like I still want to do all of these things, and I'm running towards that instead of running from something. And so,
I salute you. I absolutely salute you. I'm almost living vicariously. I'm excited. I'm living vicariously through what you're telling me. I mean, because I've never, I just, at some point, I want to do things internationally, but, we get bogged down with our work and our careers and what we went to school for. And we buy all of this junk. We buy a house. The American dream makes it a nightmare because you can't go nowhere.
right.
All of these things that we have cultivated that actually holds us in a box. It
Yep.
boxes us in. And you said, forget that. I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna do my 33 at 33. You did the first 33, and then it's over for the world. You can't even
I
stay still.
all the boxes. And that's what I try to remember people. I got married. I went to college. I got married. I got the graduate degree. I bought the house. I checked all the boxes. And was still like, yo,
I'm
I'm
not
not clear.
satisfied.
This is not satisfied. And so the 33 was just like that kind of exposed me to something larger, and it didn't
Mhm.
stop. I got back. I had a job waiting for me on Fifth Avenue. I had, I'm not gonna say
Mm.
the company I worked for, but it was a high-end fashion company. I went
Fifth
and
Avenue, baby. You was getting paid. Hmm.
I 3 months. I stayed 90 days.
How
90
much?
days. I stayed in that job for 90 days. I cried
You
every
couldn't do
day.
it.
I couldn't do it. I had changed fundamentally from the person that left. The person who came back, I could not. I stayed 90 days so that the person who recommended me got their bonus. That was the only reason
That
I stayed.
DNA changed. Your whole DNA changed on these travels.
Everything changed. And so I had to figure that out. Like, what does that look like when when you're in mid 30s and I've gone through my midlife crisis. Okay. I had went away. I was so happy that during that time that I ate everything. I made friends. I did all things, and I naturally lost 50 pounds. I lost 50 pounds in
Just
that time that I
naturally, just organically, not even trying.
not even trying.
Whoa.
And I came back and I was crying every single day on the way to work, every single day on the way back. And so my husband at the time was just like, yo, this isn't working, quit. Okay. But then I was stuck. Like, what am I supposed to do? So I started traveling again. And I was like, I thought I could do 33 at 33. If I could do 33 at 33, maybe I could hit 100 by 40. And I started going for that goal. And that's where, while I was traveling, I met people, and that's where I met my business partners actually in Samoa, which is interesting. And that's how the book came about. I don't know.
Well, this is what we're in American Samoa, you
Mm-hmm.
said? Okay, so this is where you met your business partners and you started the anthology.
Yes, we did.
That's where the brainchild came from.
Yeah,
Okay.
with other travel, I was with my people, right? I'm with my people.
Right.
There was a lot of synergy there. We had a lot of ideas. We had all been traveling a ton,
Hmm.
and like, hey, we can do something together. Let's figure this out. And that was when we started. It was called Rios Republic. It was a magazine. It started off as a magazine, or a digital magazine, and we wanted to cover Black travel, but from a different aspect. So from like a very like smart aspect. Like we wanted to talk about things like jumping the broom, for example, and how, yes, we jump the broom in the US now, but where did this actually come from? Well, people
What does
still
that
jump
mean?
in Ireland. You know what I mean? It's Celtic tradition to do that.
Mm,
And how did we then come? How did it get to us? We didn't talk about these things, about like the things that you see in America and how it got to us and where did it come from?
exactly.
And
Yes.
so it was things like we
So the
traveled.
Irish probably brought it over.
The Irish brought it over. We were
Yeah,
all
and I think
together.
it has some African tendencies too. Some African tentacles.
We mixed it up,
Um,
right? So this is the same
mm-hmm.
thing with tap dance, things like that. That's clogging and the juba from African tradition. Like, all of these things that we married, being,
Into our
internet.
culture.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we would go to Ireland and cover these things and write about it. We went to Ireland and they had the Irish, I think it was the Dublin Gospel Choir there. Like the Harlem. They were literally like the Harlem Gospel Choir, but they had their own, and we covered them. And we just wanted to talk about how,
Really?
yeah, like all the aspects and all the different ways that Black culture was influenced around the world. And I love that aspect. And we went to Oman, we went to Vietnam, we covered things there. We were just traveling and writing and getting people to write about it, and it was beautiful. So then we were like, let's put together this anthology because we have all these sources now, right? We know all of these people in the travel industry, all of these Black travelers who are doing big things, and no one really knows about it, right? Because we're meeting them
Ooh.
out there, and we're seeing, we're meeting the chef, we're meeting these people,
Yes,
and
yes.
like somebody needs to see this. And so we put out a call for photos and for pictures, and I'm sorry, for photos and for articles, and that's how the came together. We cut, it's huge, it's literally 8 pounds. I don't even have one with me because I can't travel with it, it's too big.
It's 8 pounds.
It's 8 pounds. It's a massive coffee table book, and we just covered as much as possible. I probably will try to do another one. Honestly, it was one of the best experiences of my life. Like out of all the things I've done, it was top 10.
How
Um,
do a person get a copy of something like? How did you get a copy of this anthology?
it is out of print, but I
Ah,
actually put in a call the other day to see once I knew that you were bringing it up. I was like, let me see if I can get some more.
yeah, I
So
gotta
I'll
get this anthology, and I want you to sign it. Yeah,
okay. Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna see.
yeah. I have to have that. That is
It's,
amazing.
yeah.
Um,
So all the
I,
stories, it was everything from like even just like how Black gay travelers travel. Like, what does that look like when you have AIDS, or how do you get access? Like all of these things no one thinks about. Um,
oh my God! So this is like this is like the digital current book. I mean, current green book.
maybe,
Because and I mean the international green book, because in America we needed this green book to get around as people in a racist society as America was. So we had a green book that told Black people where was safe for them to stay, travel, had all this information so we could stay safe in our Black skin.
yeah,
You have created an international baby that's 8 pounds. First of all,
yeah.
that
I
thing
don't
heavy.
know.
First of all,
It was less of a green book and more of like inspirational for me. It was I wanted my biggest thing was letting people dream, and I think you see this
mm,
too with your kids. Like that for me was the big portion of it. If you can't see it, or if you don't even know people who are doing it, then you can't dream it. You,
that's so
you can't,
true.
you know what I mean? And so that was
Yep.
the big. I wanted to put it on in a book. In the I
Wow.
read wrote the forward for it. I put it in a book, and it was, I think we covered like 84 countries of just Black people in those countries, and I'm talking just doing all the things, wing walking,
That is
which is,
so fly.
yeah, stuff like any and everything, just to see the how far we can go, so these kids could get a hold of it, and they do. I'm getting chills. Sorry. I went into the Denver. There are only so many Black libraries. So there's Schaumburg. There's one in Denver, and
Wow.
there's another one, the third one. But I went in when I was in
I
Colorado.
didn't know there was 3. I thought it was 2. Denver and Schaumburg. I didn't know it was 3. It's another one?
I
Wow.
feel like it is, but we will look it up. I went to the one in
I'm
Denver,
looking.
and
Mhm.
while I was in there, I'm just browsing around or whatever, and I saw my book on the shelf.
You saw your book?
I saw my book. They had
Oh
three,
my g
and I was like, first of all, how did it get here? I knew the Schomburg had one because we had already contacted them to like,
Your
let's
book
do
is at the Schaumburg?
it is, but this
Excuse me, Miss McKelvey. I
it
gotta
was
have a copy.
it was in
Shoot.
there, and I was just like, first thing I did was go through and see how many people had checked it out. Like that's what I wanted to know, like how many people have seen this, and I was just blown away. And I think, yeah, that's it. That for me, that was it. I just wanted the kids to be able to have access to it. Not all the information in there is for them, but just to see these Black faces, and some of them are kids, people traveling with their kids, in these foreign lands and taking pictures of them hiking mountains and a whole different, it's just everything. It's everything I wanted it to be. And I would love to do that type of work again. So we'll see.
Let me tell you something, Davita. I am sitting here and it's amazing to because first of all, I identify with you being a Black woman. That's just it, being a Black person, woman regardless. And I know that within that we have similar experiences, similar movements just because of that.
Mhm.
And for you to say, listen, I'm going to travel all over the world. I'm going to create this book, this 8 pound book. I got to say it's 8 pounds that has experience of Black peoples all over the diaspora. It's amazing. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's almost what I do because my jam is Black folks. That's what we
Right.
do. That's my jam. And
Mine too.
so for you to internationally move throughout the world and find African people or Black people
Yeah.
is amazing. Uh, and so language, do you have language barriers with these people? Can you just I mean, you
With
could just wherever you go. Yeah, I mean, how do you get all of this information? Because I'm sure people can speak English or
Yeah, I think that's the one downfall about the US is I mean about the US, not about travel in general. When I first started, and it's not that long ago, so I'm sure people who have been traveling for a longer than I have can remember how individualized the countries were. Like I would go to um an island that when I got there, everyone would be in like Gap sweatshirts. And I'd be like, come on. Like, you know, you know what I mean? But then like maybe 5 years before that, everybody would have been nude walking around. You know what I mean? But everyone is becoming very, very
what
a lot,
Americanized or
more Western, a lot
more
more,
Western?
more connected because
Yeah.
of
The world is
technology.
very technology has connected us. Yeah, that's
Yes.
true.
And so
So
everything,
cultures we losing culture in that way
yeah,
because everyone sees someone else doing it. We emulate that. You lose your own culture in a lot of ways. And this crazy American culture, everybody thinks is so fly until they get here and they see it's trash.
right.
And so I mean, it's the truth. So it's just amazing what you're saying. Technology is we're actually being able to go other places, but then
Right.
also it has negative influences when it comes
Has,
to
and that
how
and that's one of is the language. So you can speak
yeah.
English and go anywhere in the world. There's very few places that you won't be able to go and not find someone. My thing is,
Mhm.
if I go to a country and I can't find someone to speak with because I only know English, there's apps, and now you can hear
Yeah, I was
people.
about to say this thing here will connect
Yeah,
you to anybody.
anything. And that stuff wasn't
Anything.
available back then when I was young. So my thing was always just find the kids because they're teaching English everywhere, pretty much in the elementary schools, et cetera, because they
Okay.
want their kids. It's the language of business. They want their kids
Yeah,
to
it's the
succeed.
language of business. At some
So
point, I think it's going to be Mandarin, but right now it's still English. So I
yeah,
think
there's
Mandarin's coming,
it is.
huh?
It is. It's in Africa. A lot of people
Yeah,
are skipping to go.
Mandarin is coming. People,
Yeah,
when Africa is so huge, so imagine the Chinese are there. So that language is going to spread across one of the biggest continents, the second largest continent. So imagine how big Mandarin is going to be the language of business. I just really believe that.
yeah. It's
Um,
so funny because the Chinese kind of stamp their name on different things. Like if you go to Palau, for example, which is like, I went to Palau and I went
where's that?
specifically. It's
Slow us
in
down. Where's Palau?
it's in like the Philippines area. Like think
So
about
you
the
just go to
island.
places. I went to Maloud and the Doom, and like we know, we don't have a clue what you're talking about. Work with us. Tell us where it's at. So that's in the Philippines.
It's like
Okay.
in that area. So it's an island, but it's in that area.
Hmm.
Um, it is it's supposed like I guess like 50 years from now it won't exist because of how fast water is rising, right? So
Really?
yeah, it's like you could see how the water's kind of encroaching when you go out there. And my brother
Wow.
actually, he went there and he went scuba diving, and he was said wherever they went, he said he like basically like put on his things and just stepped off the island. I don't know if that's true, but I was like, what? So
Whoa.
he told me that story, and I was like, I'm there. So anyway, went to I forgot where we started this conversation, but went to Palau,
Hmm.
and what were we talking about? Why am I telling you about Palau?
I
This is what I'm
forgot because you
going.
always put your extra stuff. I love that.
I
It's like
wasn't
you have a
looking
ham sandwich and you add turkey, cheese, lentils. You
at
add everything to the
I'm
sandwich.
not going to
I
tell
love
you.
that because you're so well read. That's the thing that you have a lot to say. That's why I wanted you here. I had to have you here. You got so much to say. I love that. So listen. So are you a junkie for like you do anything? You said you're because I'm hearing you said that you're gonna you did some bungee jumping. Your
Yeah.
brothers in Japan. So were you guys bred to just not be scared of anything, just try stuff?
No. Okay,
Where did this
so
come from? Who's
my
mom? Tell me about mom. What
brother
happened?
is in the Navy. My brother's in the he was in the Navy. He's retired now, so that's why he was kind of like out there. Um,
Okay.
my mom is a pastor. My mom is a
Did
pastor.
you
I
say
am
pastor like
I am
Christian
I'm a
pastor?
first generation PK, and we are the blackest sheep in the family. We're the only ones who are just like away from the church, like just out and about in the world, just surfing it.
Your
So
mom is a preacher. I would never think.
she's a
Oh my
preacher.
gosh. They say PKs are different. This is the most different PKs I've ever seen.
She takes
Wow. So,
all her
man, so your brother, it seems like, so he went in the Navy. So he experienced the world through the armed services. And then now he's continuing to experience the world, in other words.
Well, he
Where is he?
moved. He retired, and then
Uh
he
huh.
moved to Mexico with his son because we were there. And I was kept telling me, "You gonna stay, bro?" But he ended up falling in love. He took, I mean, not falling in love with the person. He ended up falling in love with that part of Mexico, and so he's there. His son is
He's
in
in
school.
Mexico.
Yep, my nephew is half Japanese, half black. So now he speaks Japanese, he speaks English, and he's fluent in Spanish. And
Look at,
he's over
listen at
there
these
with
kids.
the state jujitsu championships in Mexico, like all the things. He's amazing. Um, yeah, I,
Wow.
yeah, my nephew's
These
on.
are African kids. I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. So so he speaks three languages. How old is he?
Merrick is 10. He's 10.
10, three
Yeah,
languages. See, this is I want us to understand possibility. And that's why you're sitting here, Davita, is that it is possible to raise kids and travel. It is
right,
possible to experience other cultures with children. It is possible to do anything you want to do. You do not have to stay in the US.
right.
I'm saying it for myself, not just for others. This is for anyone that we need to experience the world. It would change. I'm sure it would change the lens of my life
Yeah.
when I start traveling.
Like, I'm involved in a lot of different Facebook groups, obviously for expats and what have you. But the
Hmm.
ones for single mothers who move abroad, it's night and day. It is night, and your whole world changes when you can come to a country like this and you can still make US dollars. And this is, and let me just back up and say that I understand that we are speaking from a very privileged perspective, right? I get that. Despite that, this is still the truth. You can still make US dollars in these countries and afford a nanny, a private school, you know what I mean? All the things to make your life easier. So when these
Because
women
the
are
money
stopping,
manifests to more because it's US dollars, right?
yes, right. It's going to go twice as far,
Wow.
3 times as far, all of these things. So there's a huge black right there in Thailand. In I can't remember the city, but there's a massive black community there, and I'm talking big, like
In
I,
Thailand?
in Thailand. And it's gonna come to me later, but again, I'm old. They have a massive black community there, and they eat dinner together every Sunday. I believe it's like 200 people show up. Like, it's big. This is all black Americans who have moved, picked up and moved. And a lot of times in these spaces, you'll find mostly women. And sometimes a lot of single moms are finally catching on. Like, look, it takes a lot to get all of the things you need done in the States, right? Again, help daycare is going to cost you as much as anything else. Daycare is expensive.
Everything.
Healthcare
Yes.
is expensive. And like you said, you get caught up in these like webs where you're like, I'm stuck and I can't do much
Yeah.
of it else. I don't have time to take care of myself. I don't have time to do these. And I'm meeting these women who are like, look, I'm going to keep the same job, or I'm going to find a different job that's just remote, and I'm going to take this money and I'm going to go abroad. And when I'm abroad, I can find, we saw a black woman yesterday at the fancy grocery store last. She had 3 children and 1 nanny for each. And I was like, go
You
ahead,
better
sis.
stop it. You better
Right. Do
Oh,
you?
I'm coming. You gonna come up and I'll be right in the fancy grocery store. You gonna say, is that quick?
Do you?
Is
The
that
kids are traveling, they're learning different languages, they are being
yes.
taken care of, and
They're
you still have the
exposed.
time.
Yes.
Hair done, nails done, eyes done, toes done. She had time to get dressed very nicely. Like, she was put together really nicely. And if you see this, sis, I'm gonna tell you that. But I was just like, okay, didn't you? This is great.
That's what's
Because
up, sis. I am
yes,
learning something. My sister Davita, she said we need 2 copies. She needs a copy too, sis. She said 2 copies
okay.
of this anthology.
That's so
But
cute.
but I definitely need two. I definitely need a copy. But my sister need one too. But
Okay.
I'm just like, wow, I'm so excited about this, what you're
Yeah.
telling me, because I want to do what you're doing. I know it's kind of, I have a mother, it's,
Mhm.
80. I'm a caretaker, so she's not doing none of that.
Right.
But I can go and come. I can,
I have a
you know,
friend
I
who
can,
brought her with her. Same situation. I'm no lie.
To where?
This was in Merida, which
Mexico.
had Merida, Mexico has one of, I think it's only like 3 or 4 U.S. graded hospitals, and Merida had one. So she was like, "We out." But then in some of these countries, you remember a lot of these doctors that are working in the American hospitals were coming from India or what have
Coming
you.
from
They're coming,
foreign countries. Of
yeah.
course.
So the
Yeah.
healthcare here is sometimes better than it is. I don't want to say better. We have a lot, and we have access to a lot of tech that sometimes they don't have access to. But it's
Mm-hmm.
going here. It's going to be less expensive, and they're going to take their time. It's more thorough, etc. I mean,
Hmm.
so I see it all
I,
the time. I met a couple here who they fly into KL to just get services because they might pay one price and they're going to spend 6 days going, giving them MR, all the different things, all the different tests just to see. Let's just check you out, and they're going to do all
mm-hmm.
of these screenings for 6 days, and they're going to pay one price, and it might be like $300 or something like that. Where we couldn't even get. I mean, could I get Tylenol?
You can't get your toenails done if it's $100.
Three hundred
What you talking
dollars.
about? Real
Yeah.
talk. I mean, this is amazing. So we got to segue into this part because people say, "Oh, she's doing all of this. She must be got a bag that's blown. She got a big bag coming through. She got money." So because that's the first thing you think of travel. You need cash for this. You need cash to wherever you're going. So kind of let's segue. How do you keep this type of lifestyle? Because I'm taking notes. I want you to
Okay.
know how do we keep it?
Okay. So for me, as you already know, I serve as like a marketing concierge.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I don't even have a website myself. I haven't even have time to do this myself because I have a particular set of clients, and they send me other clients. They only send
Mm-hmm.
me clients who they think that I would vibe with, which is why you came into my lap.
That's why I got you. Yes.
And then you might send someone else who you're like, "Hey, I know this girl. I know what you need," and you send them my way. I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally looking at the schedule right now. I'm working on 10 different projects, and
Wow.
they pay me. And then so some people come in and they pay me by project, and then some people put me on retainer and they just pay me every single month. And so it's enough to right now at this juncture pay for our lifestyle. There are other ways to supplement it because I work with websites. People can do. I'm gonna be more broad. I have
Go ahead.
19 different domains, right? With those domains, I might put up like auto blogs, for example. People make money that way. I'm not. If you stop me, if you're like explain,
Auto
auto
blogs.
blogs
Work with
one
me.
way.
What's like a car blog? When you
So
say auto blog.
a niche. Let's say you're into tech and children. You put up a website, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you set it so that anything in the RSS, which is like the syndicate, all the news out there,
Mm-hmm.
anything out there that hits these particular keywords or this particular writer, who whatever you set, flows into your blog. So it looks like a news source, but it's only about that particular thing. African American children in tech or what have you, whatever you want to do. And then you set it so that it has ads on it. So now you're making ad money. Then you set it so that you can do affiliate links through maybe Amazon. Amazon is going to put a cookie, put a cookie on your website so that if a visitor comes in and they see something, they like it, and they click and it takes them to Amazon. Now you get a piece of whatever they purchased there. But that cookie gives them, now you get a piece of whatever they purchased there for 90 days, things like that. So there's money being made in multiple ways that way. So auto blogging is one. Um,
I think we got
everyone's
some things to talk about. Don't I
on
think me and
demand.
you have some more to talk. Yeah, we got some things to talk about. So you said auto. So you're making money doing a variety of digital products or different digital
On
things.
demand, print
Wow.
on demand is huge. Um, there's so many. There's just too. I mean, there's too many different ways to make money online, and now that AI is here, it's just like it's
It's getting
insane.
weird. Yeah,
Insane.
it's getting insane. But
It's
I want to know because I work in the health field. So we can't work from home. Some people have to go in. So remote work for us is a different animal. You can travel and do what you do, but you still have
yeah,
to go into something. And you don't know the different type of certifications all over the world that they expect for for what I would do or what a nurse would do. You just don't know. So it
yeah.
kind of how do someone like in a medical field could do something like
It would have to switch over somewhere to like maybe medical transcriptioning or something like that,
yeah, you have to leave the actual hospital.
or
Yeah.
like a travel nurse. or a teacher. Teachers are very, very, it's a distinguished job for most of the world. So they make a lot of money, six figures in a lot of places. I've had friends who've moved to like, especially in the Middle East.
And I know some people teach English in different countries and they make money. They
Same
make
thing.
very good money.
You could teach. I mean, I have a friend who taught friggin' elementary school theater, and she was making six figures and had a maid and a driver, and she didn't
Sure.
pay for her housing. She didn't pay any for her housing, and all the money she made was tax free. Like that's it. Listen,
Yeah,
if
because it's always tax free.
college you have any type of loan, like or loans or any type of things, like my first thing is just go get a job abroad. Make that tax free money big, pay it off.
Listen, you changing my whole DNA with just the conversation. I can't wait till I get on a plane. You changes the world. Sister
Yeah.
Davita said we got things to talk about. Yes, sis, we do. Because I want to know some more. This is amazing. I mean, because you don't know, like you said, you don't know possibility until you see what's possible.
Right.
And tonight you're telling us what's possible.
Mhm.
And that's what we need to know, that everything, that we do not have to stay in the US. You know,
Mhm.
we've been fed the US is the best place in the world for forever. But we're dying on the streets. Our children are suffering. Black people are suffering in America. Let's be clear. And so if we can go other places and learn different things and expose ourselves and be exposed to different cultures, and our children speak different languages, who would we be?
Right. Right.
Uh,
Listen, it's
I,
all it's ups and downs because you there are times when I just miss I miss black folks. Like a I want to go to a barbecue. I want to
You want to
go
go to you want to go to a cookout, baby.
yeah, something. I just want to see somebody fall out in church for 2 seconds. I want this experience of us.
You're crazy. I love it. You want to go back to home. Yeah, you're gonna miss that. But
Yeah.
does it what would you take? Would you come back for that, or will you stay and do what you're doing? Tell me what's
I don't want to come back. I'll be honest with you. It's not I
oh
realized
wow.
like even when I was in the States for a year, like there's certain things I wouldn't even watch the news or things like that. I feel like I take in a lot of like everything that's happening, and it's just like, oh, do I want to subject my child to that? Things like bullying
So
and school.
negative.
Yeah, it is. And here's the thing: when I was like
Yeah.
childless, I did not. I saw things, and you're like, that's sad, and it made you feel a type of way. But now that I have a child, I feel these things differently, and I don't know. Maybe that's
Mm.
on me. I probably need to go see a therapist about that or something. But like, but like when I was seeing school shootings when you were childless, it's kind of like, damn,
Oh,
like that
yes.
sucks and it hurts. But when you actually have a child and you have to send that child to school, that feels different. You know what I mean? It becomes
And we're fine with it. That's what's more sicker. That
it's
we're fine with what we're hearing. We hear it and we keep it moving.
right
It's
now
just
we
life.
got used
Yeah.
to it, and that's what I try to explain to people. We've
That's a
gotten
problem.
and things like that. Like, when I go abroad, some of the things that people ask me, they're like, "Have you ever shot a gun? Like, you ever seen one? Things like that. Like, this shit's not normal. Like, it's not normal elsewhere, and we've
Isn't that
normalized
amazing? When we've
horrible.
normalized this violence.
Yeah,
So that's another thing. Black people, is it hard to move around? Are you scrutinized? Is the path hard in other countries that it is in the US? Is it harder here in the US? Because you've
my
experienced
brother.
both.
Okay, so
Are
let me.
black men dying in streets all over the world? Can we talk about that? Black children dying.
That's heavy.
It's
The
heavy.
I can only speak from the perspective of an outsider and wherever I
Yes.
go. But as an outsider, there's certain things that I've gotten to become like you realize you've gotten accustomed to it. So for example, and my brother and I talk about this all the time. When we go back to the States, he's like, I'm really conscious when I go in a store that I'm making sure that people see the things that are in my hand. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
don't want to look like I'm stealing something. I'm being very conscious of where my hands are when I'm in the store, and things like that. And he was like, as soon as I leave, that goes away because those things don't matter, right?
You
And it's
free.
the little,
Wow.
yeah, free. It's the little stuff like that, like these little, little things
I have
that
a
can.
friend that goes to Africa. She says when she gets on the plane, she gets off in Africa. It's like all of the burdens of being black goes away. all of it. She said when she goes international, it's like black doesn't matter. Like and then as soon as she's coming back, she's like putting her armor on, like, oh shit, here I gotta go. So wow,
And then the
that's
flip side,
real.
also is that we still travel with a blue passport. You're in black skin, but you got a blue passport. And so you still, what I assume, how I assume white people feel in America, you get that same privilege when you go to these other places because you are still first American, right?
You
And
got
so
that blue passport. That means something.
passport. That means that you got green. They think it means you got green. And so they approach you as such. And so I've been in situations where I was on a train once in like a local train, just like a subway, and the police came on looking for some, I guess it was two African guys who had snatched a purse or something like that. This was in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, pulling up everybody, and they came over to me and they were like, do you have your ticket? And I was like, yes, I do. And as soon as I spoke, they realized, oh, and he said, oh, you're American, don't worry about it, and kept going. And that is
Tell me where that happens that happens nowhere for us. We're the first one there looking like, go talk to Hush.
It's the same, and it's the same thing here with Malaysia, unfortunately, is that they've had, I think we talked about, they had a string of people coming up and running scams.
Nigerians.
Yeah.
Stop
coming
it.
up and running scams. And so it affects like all the black skin folks. So when I was looking for an apartment, these are the first questions. What race are you? What nationality are you? What this and that? And I remember the lady in one of the stores who I was talking to, the owner, she was like, you're going to love it here. She was like, but when you go look for an apartment, make sure that tell them you're American first. And I was like, huh? Make sure you tell them that kind of, as a black person, in Latin America, we kind of like see ourselves as the collective, and splitting ourselves apart from that hurts. It hurts. Like it makes you feel yucky.
Yes.
I don't want to do that. Like if you're going to discriminate, like include me. Like I'm
because we always are a collective in America. I mean, we're a collection in America. That's amazing. Wow. So you've had very inverse experiences.
Yeah.
You've had the experience of the US and all of the foolishness that black folks are going through in the US. And then you've had the freedom of being international and American and being an American African.
But don't get us started. I've seen direct racism also. I think.
How does that work? How does that look like?
Well, I mean, I've traveled to and through over 104 countries at this juncture. And the only country I will never return to is Israel.
Let me sit back. Are you kidding me?
Nope. It is the only country I will never. I got stopped twice. And the first time I got stopped coming across, like she literally said to me, they kept my passport and they were holding it. She literally said to me, we're trying to figure out how a black woman can travel like this. And she said, are you married to someone white? Is he Irish? Because my last name obviously is McKelvey. Are you married to someone white? We're trying to figure out how a black woman can travel like this. And I was like,
so you can't have a tatted up. You cannot have a tatted up passport and be a black woman. Is that what she's saying?
At that time, it was like a 3-in-1. Like that was one of those thick passports that you could get if you were a heavy traveler.
Because you're a heavy traveler, yeah.
I will never ever get one again. But they could see all the stamps for
Yeah, you tatted, yeah.
Trying to figure out how you can afford to travel like this because you're black, and I was just stuck. And it was, I mean. I'm like, yeah, Google me, bitch. Like, you need to figure out who I am first. Y'all got Google.
That's all you got to do. Oh my goodness. So so you've been to Israel. Did you go to Gaza?
I did. No. I went to Palestine. So yes,
you went to Palestine. So can you tell me a little bit about the area? What did you think?
I went there for not gonna lie. What is the beer holiday?
The beer holiday?
The beer holiday, that's German.
The Guinness joint? The Guinness joint?
Either way, it's the God. I hate
You went for a holiday, okay?
I went for a holiday. It was the holiday, whatever this beer holiday is. I have the pictures and everything, and I went to a local, winery or beer thing there. Mm-hmm. There's very nice people, and they had a festival for this event, and I went and had coffee. I mean, it was as normal could be, and I was just shocked. I was really shocked because when I tell you I was scared to go because of everything that we've been fed and everything that we see, and I was just like, oh my God. And my mama was praying oil over me on the phone and all kind. It was madness going.
and Palestine was beautiful. Wow.
absolutely beautiful. Um,
Absolutely beautiful. And they've destroyed this place. Wow. Ah,
yeah,
oh
I
my
did. I
goodness.
Yeah, I took a tour and I did the whole day there, and then I came back. But there was other, I went to at that same time also crossed the border and went over to Jordan and
Okay.
went to stayed all night, camped out in the mountains, things like that. Things like
Wait a minute,
that.
wait a minute.
People,
You go to another country and you camp out. You got the I'm telling you, you got some kahuna, sis. You do things that black women ain't doing. No, sir.
but
We
that's what in hindsight. Now that I'm a little older, I'm like, oh, it's crazy. What the hell? But
that's
yeah,
It's crazy.
just
Wow.
yeah,
I'm telling you, your experiences. I know you got a baby, a 5-year old, so I can't keep you here for 2 hours. I would love to.
I
I really would, and I know it's early in the morning, so she'll be up soon if she's not up. But I definitely am just so enamored with your life. I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. I never knew it was possible. I thought that you go to college, you get a job, the American dream. We live in the best country in the world, as everyone told us, and that's it. You
yeah,
visit, you go to Cali, you visit Florida, Miami.
South,
You go to
but out
Miami. You know what I'm
California,
saying? You go to South Beach, and you might go to Caribbean, hit Jamaica. You hit
right?
Jamaica, or something. You go on a cruise, and you in the cruise, you just touch the place and get back on the boat and come back to
Come back
America. But you have been to 100 or through 104 countries.
to 4 countries, 2 or 3, yeah.
It's only 195, sis.
I know.
I am in
I know.
awe of you,
And I
huh?
would love to do them all, but there's some that, well, Saudi Arabia is
Some are
open now.
hard to get to too.
Yeah. Well, before when I first started, you couldn't go to Saudi Arabia as a single female, but now, things are shifting. Now I can. So
Have
we'll
you been to
see.
Dubai?
Yes, of course, too many times.
Everybody's been to Dubai.
And
Everybody.
but yeah,
That is absolute the most luxurious place in the world.
yeah.
Everyone's been to Dubai. Okay, so what's the next stop? Let's go there because we about to go. What's your next move with the
Like I said,
5-year old?
we're going to do some traveling here in Southeast Asia for the next 2 years. Still traveling in and out of the country, and I don't know. I do think I want to hit Africa next. So we'll see after the 2 years, either Ghana or South Africa. But I've never been to
Beautiful.
Ghana. It's crazy.
It's a lot of expatriates in Ghana.
It is.
Biggest,
Yeah.
yes, a big
Yeah.
expatriate. Oh wow,
That's one of the
amazing.
benefits of traveling now too, is like all of these communities already, black sit and all of this. So many black folks are leaving and setting up these communities. So now that if I go someplace and I've never been, I can get online and you have a friend, you have a friend in
You'll
a
be
few
fine
hours.
because exactly, and they're allowing you to come and get citizenship. You can do anything you want, and like a Ghana and these type of places. That's beautiful, man. Miss McKelvey, I am. This is unbelievable. Let me put up what Sister Davita said. She says, "I'm awed. I am
Oh,
too.
thank you.
I am absolutely awed with your lifestyle. Your daughter is very lucky. She's a very lucky
I have to
you.
like tell myself that too sometimes because it's because she's young, because this is my lifestyle, because she has this a speech delay, all of these things that you have to fight almost to like what I mean, like you have to fight internally and externally to live this life because everyone sees it as a you're being selfish, but they don't see all the things that she's learning, and that anything I can get in the States I can get elsewhere. It's just a matter of me doing the work to find it. Like give me this. I always tell people like give me the grace to make mistakes and give me the time to fix it. And
That's true. That's true.
happen.
And that's what we do to our own life.
Right.
We need grace in our own life to make mistakes and fix it. And so I give you that grace. But I think what you're doing is your daughter's going to be a well-rounded young lady. She's going to experience things that the same naysayers will never experience.
Right.
So do your thing. Listen, do your thing. She's a lucky, lucky little girl. What's her name?
Thank McKinley Brown.
McKinley. Another Max. Her name is McKinley McKelvey. I love it. Mac
No,
Mac.
McKinley Brown. Everybody else
Uh,
is like McKinley. I'm like,
oh, I was like, my goodness, what a Mac Mac. Okay, McKinley Brown.
bag,
Okay,
bag, yes.
that is beautiful. That is beautiful. So, guys, listen. I'm gonna put your information. Well, no, this is what we'll do. because you're a word, you're cerebral. She's a cerebral creative, everyone. So to work with her, you got to be able to take the shade, but she gonna give you some beautiful work. I'm gonna tell you right now. She gonna bring you
Shady.
and,
Listen,
and
stop
she
telling
give you
people.
some, she gonna do you some good work, but she gonna tell you where you should go and where you should come. And I
Yes,
love it because she's
get your
doing some
pictures
great work for
taken.
me.
Don't you get your professional pictures, all of these things. You need them. I'm gonna tell you, you don't bring
Because I
me
don't
any.
have the. I'm gonna put here, guys, my website, so you could go and see her work. Um, the Squeegee Project .com. It should be live soon, right, sis?
Yeah, we could do that before the end of the day.
Yeah, so the Squeegee Project is she's doing this website for me. We're a workforce development program, teaching core technological concepts to Black opportunity youth within a coding and game design model. And she's doing the website for me out of Malaysia. That's how we rolling out here. We portaling out of Southeast Asia, baby. So we got a urban Black Asian website coming, and it's fly. So I want you guys to go see her work. I do have her information if anyone wants to get it. I will send you folks who, because she works mostly via email
Mhm.
or WhatsApp. So you're not going to talk to her a lot, but you're going to see her work. She does what she says she's going to do, and she's
Yeah.
real good at it. This anthology, sis, you got to get it reprinted. I don't know what you're going to do, but the world has changed. You got to get that a digital copy. It need to be in a digital space too.
Oh my gosh, that
It
would be
should be
hard.
an ebook. Yeah, it should be an ebook, huh?
Yeah, I said maybe. I'll have to. We'll see. It presents so well. You know, old school, those thick books that used to sit on your auntie's table. Like that's how.
Yes.
Yeah, it presents really well, printed. So we may have to do a second print, but I will keep you posted.
Yeah, you have, and I have to get me and well, Davita too, but me, I definitely gotta get a copy. Me and Davita gotta get a copy. Is that
Can I
okay?
tell you? Okay, I know you trying to get off the phone. This is what happens. But the reason I love what you're doing with the squeegee projects is so much is because I would not be able to do what I do now had I not had the tech background. Like I went to school for mechanical engineering first
Ah,
before I switched over to fashion and things like
is
that. And
that
so
right?
yeah, so like I see what you're doing, and I'm like, before I went to school for college for engineering, I started in programs like this, like JETS, Junior Engineering Technical Society, all of these things, and that's what kind of fed that interest. And that you're back then they used to put you in things that like this makes money, so you're gonna follow it.
Yes.
Science and math makes but I was an
That's
artist and
why I'm a health science because of money.
you
Yes,
follow
but I'm really
you.
a techie. Yeah,
And I'm not a techie. I'm more of a like an artist, but I like to build.
there
And
you
so
go.
the fact that I had this tech background, but then I wanted to do fashion and all of these things like that, like I was able to marry this into what I'm doing now. But without that tech background, I don't think I wouldn't be able to do this. Two, I can take those skills and go anywhere. I could still, and even now at my big age of 46, go and find a job in any of
Mm,
those areas because I had it, because I've been doing this forever now, right? So I love
yes.
that you're teaching these kids these aspects because it's something that, once you trigger that thought process, they're going to repeat it and they can take it on and move with it and do
It's
something with it.
scalable, and that's what we
Yes,
need for young Black kids. And you know what started at Davita? Black Box Radio. I got out here and I could not find Black young youth who could work with me. They had no skill sets. They
right,
had no editing skills. They have no filmmaking skills. Of course, AI is new, but they had no skill sets because they're not being taught it. And I said,
right,
listen, and I had to go to Fiverr and go to Asia and go all over the world. Mostly South Asians on Fiverr. Let's be clear. They're
yep,
Indians, Asians, and so
yep,
you go to them to build things for cheaper
yep.
and
So
your own, my own,
edit it
exactly.
for culture, for speech, for all of these aspects
And they
that
don't understand your culture. They don't bring it forth the way that you want it because they can't speak Black. Let's
right,
be clear. They cannot. And so I said I needed to start something that would squeeze young people into technology and also be able to help me do what I do. And
Yep.
that's how the squeegee project came about. It really, and I really think we have to point to Black children. Technology, their swag and what they bring to the table, how creative they are. When they get
Yep.
some tech behind them, it's going to be crazy.
Yep. I think, and for me, that's huge because I see these cultures here. You see it in Asia. You do see it in like a lot of Jewish culture, families, etc., where their kids. You're not going to leave this house until you have some type of skill that you can make money with your own hands. And
There
we've
you go.
gotten away from like that aspect of it in
Yes.
our community, and that has to be a thing. My mom used to cut hair, things like that. Like, learn how to be a barber. Learn, like,
You
wherever
got to
you
learn
go,
something in the household. That's important.
make money, yes,
Yes.
with your own hands. And
Yes.
I pour that into my child, even at 5 now. Like, we're going to figure this out. Whatever it is you're into, we're going to take it, and you're going to learn enough that wherever you go in this world, you're not going to starve. And I think that tech is just one of those things. Like,
It
whether
is.
it's coding, it's graphic, whatever it is, like, that's one of those things now that you can make money with your own hands. And I
You are
think,
making money with me. You're in Malaysia.
yeah,
I'm in Baltimore, South Carolina, but you're in Malaysia. You're making money with me, and we're making money together,
yep,
actually, because it's going to be reciprocal at some point. And
right.
so, but that can happen with tech skill.
It
That
can
is
happen.
why it's so important that Black kids have it.
And it's a matter of digging in. Like, I'm a multi-potentialite, right? I have a lot of different interests, a lot of different skills. And for somebody looking in, it probably looks crazy, like, oh, it's all messy. But it all makes sense when I'm working with one person who needs all of those things, right? So whether it's you and your small business, or it's I do celebrity sites too. It one of my big celebrities, you know what I mean? They don't want to go to 1,000 different little companies if they can come to one person who has a lot of different skills. I am a
Yes.
master, not one of them, but I have worked with all of them for so long that I can say, that's why I'm a concierge. What do you want?
You are a buffet. I said, oh, she's my buffet. Yeah,
I'm a
you are
buffet.
absolute
You
buffet.
need
She's a tech buffet, guys. I
to
promise
edit.
you that. Like she
Right.
could do it all. And I'm just so and then to have this travel thing on top of that. You're a creative, you're just walking creativity. That's what you are. You're creating your life, you're creating your child's life, you're creating my damn website, you making me act different because you curse me out. I just love it. I love Davita, y'all. Davita McKelvey. Listen, I appreciate you getting up 7:30 in the morning to sit with little old me at BlaKBox Radio. I just really, really am so impressed with you. I'm absolutely impressed with you. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anyone talk you out of what you're doing. Give it all to your daughter. It's going to manifest into something you won't even be able to conjure in your mind what this is going to do for her. And
Exactly.
that's what we're here to do.
Oh, I thank you so much for that. I actually am happy you asked me now. For I was like, she really just gonna hold
Oh,
me this, but I'm happy that I showed up because this was a great conversation. So
you
I hope.
something else. See y'all saw a piece of it. She's something else, y'all. But listen, I want you to do this before we leave. I want you to leave because since you've been all over the world, leave a jewel with us. Inspire us. Leave us something. Leave Davita's jewel. Leave us something great.
Oh my God, what is it? Okay? So something I do with my I believe that life is a better teacher. So
Hmm.
even if whatever it is that you decide to do, even if a million people tell you don't do it this way, don't do it this way, do it the way that you want to, because life will teach you lessons along the way that will allow you to do it the next time better, um, or drop it. But life will always a better teacher than someone else's. What someone else went through is their life, and it taught them a lesson. What you're going to go through is your life, and it'll teach you a lesson. Life is always a better teacher than secondhand.
That is, I love that. This is going to be a great replay. So I'm saying hi to all the people who's going to replay this because this is going to be a great replay. And
Okay.
I'm going to be the digital part of the anthology, Queenie
Okay.
and Davita, and the other
I got
Davita.
so many more that I
I
want
got a Davita and a Davida. I love y'all. Davita and Davida, my two
to.
girls. Yes. So listen. bless you. We're gonna talk, of course, because we're together. So bless you. Keep traveling. Please be safe. You know, you're doing a lot of stuff. You got a 5-year old, so I'm sure you're much safer than you were when you were just out there by yourself. I'm sure of that. Because
Yes.
mothers, you know, we don't play with our cubs.
No,
Yeah,
not
we
at all.
don't play with our cubs.
We
So
don't let
listen.
our account down to $10, stuff like that. In the 30s or late 20s, you're like, no, not today.
No, I know. You're not playing with her. So listen, bless you. Thank you so much for doing International Sundays with me. You are second iteration. We were in Kenya and now we've been in Malaysia and we're going to keep moving around the world. This is beautiful. I love this segment because I'm learning so much. So thank you. That's just what it is. Thank you
Nice.
so much. So
Thank
everyone, we're out of here. We're boxed up and out. Don't go nowhere, Navina. We're boxed up and out. Thank you guys for coming through. Please go back and listen to this entire joint. You know, I don't stay on Facebook long because I stay in jail. But because this is international, I allow Facebook to sit in with us. But I don't play with Facebook. I cuts out and go to YouTube. But today I want folks to be able to experience this movement in Malaysia. But we would have been gone out of Facebook. But I left it on for the whole time. So please, guys, play it back, check it out, like, share, subscribe. BlaKBoXX Radio. We're boxed up and out. Deuces. Let's get them deuces, Davita. We out of here.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.